Are there anything that one could do to actually minimize the risk for buyer, that a seller could do to minimize the risk for a buyer to make themselves more attractive?
I work with a lot of companies 2, 3, 4 years before they go to market, and I work with some companies that I come into the office and they say, "Get me out of here as fast as you can." In either event, I encourage them quick, easy, and it absolutely will increase the value of the business and help to transition down the road, which is, do you have employment agreements and covenants not to compete with your key people? Most of the people in this room, I will bet, do not. And yet, if you go to sell your business and you've got a key sales manager, the buyer is going to, before closing takes place, require that that key manager or salesperson sign an employment agreement, or at the very least, a covenant not to compete. And I have a closing taking place this month. We were talking about it at my table, where one of the salespeople is right at the cusp of the closing, demanding a $150,000 bonus, or he won't sign that covenant not to compete. And he's going to get it. Look at, it's going to be very difficult. Let's take that particular employee. After accepting $150,000, they're going to go to court and say, "Oh, I'm just fooling." Courts aren't going to go along with that. He got something very valuable, didn't he? $150,000. And again, it's the kind of thing that if you do it particularly a year before you sell your company, 2 years, 3 years, if it's part of your culture, everybody here signs covenants not to compete. Or there's an employment agreement here. You got a raise in pay. You got something for this. And if you're going to have a covenant not to compete as an employee, you're going to give something for that. So it would be enforceable to maybe not, and again, have to be careful, and lawyers will tell you this, all right? Can't be too broad a region. It can't be too broad in terms of what industries your employee can operate in or can take a job in. But it works. People do it all the time. And the big thing is, what are you going to do during due diligence when the buyer says to you, this closing is going to be contingent upon you getting those agreements?